Hi, shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel, shalom. All right, this your brother Kazaki out of Green Millstone, and all is coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power. Yahweh Shem Shah, right? But prior to getting started, we want to give out infinite honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Akakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles like Green Millstone, who rule and teach well, peace, blessings, and salutations be to the whole full life scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, all right? And the title of today's lesson is going to be The Elect is First Class, all right? That's the title of today's lesson. Is going to be The Elect is first class. All right, and you just see a picture up here. This is again, this is just art or whatnot, but as you can see, it's basically a representation of the crowning ceremony with Yahweh Shema Shah, right, in which we're all are presently working toward, man. And we see the prophecies, man, they're coming to pass. Everything is happening very quickly. The Lord is moving with an extreme change of pace, man. Okay, sometimes things will die down just a little bit, and then the next thing you know, it'll pick right back up. Okay, but now we're seeing prophecy after prophecy after prophecy come to pass, man. So, the elect uh, will be the ones who work towards, fulfilling what needs to be done in the spirit in order to, receive the crowns, right? They're going to basically, in long story short, finish the race, as the scriptures say, and or finish the job, man. Right? Because we're all basically, in so many words, working, right? Employed by Yahweh Shema Shah, we're basically workers, man. But service to the Lord, man. Okay, and we got to continue to do what servants do, man. They serve, right? All right, let's go get this real quick. We can actually get this. This is first class out of the online etymology dictionary. It says, of the highest class with reference to some standard of excellence. So there's something that was given to the elect that made them excellent within the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shah, okay? Right? They have been elected, predestinated, from the foundations of the earth, man, to receive the kingdom of heaven, right? These people aren't just regular people, man. They're special people to the Lord, man. The Lord actually loves the elect, right? He loves the nation of Israel too as well, but the elect, is very special, right? And these people, whomever they may be in this time, Lord willing, would be at that number. Okay, they're valuable. They're valuable people in society that society doesn't see valuable, right? Because they're completely overlooked, and that's the spirit of the Lord, right? The Lord's going to have the spirit on the people to, basically not even notice them, right? Because you walk down the street, other people walk down the street too as well, but those people don't know who you are because you ain't, the people, right? The elect hasn't been given that fortune, the fame that's going to come basically through Yahweh Shai, right? And basically, through Jacob's trouble too as well, man, because the Lord's going to give men, spiritual powers to basically mess Esau up, man. Gifts of healing, so on and so forth, man. It's going to be a really beautiful thing, man. You know, but ultimately, we want to be a part of the so-called, the first class, man. All right, I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna read it one more time. It says first class is an adjective, right, describing, right, and it says of the highest class with reverence to some standard of excellence, man. Okay, and then underneath first it reads foremost, right, going before all others, chief principle, right. It says at first, right, because there's a lot of people within the nation of Israel, okay, but the elect will be going before, all the others, okay. And I'm gonna get this word excellent actually really quickly. It says excellent, it says unexcelled, and this is out of the online etymology dictionary too as well. It says distinguished for superior merit of any kind, of surpassing character or quality, uncommonly valuable for any reason, remarkably good. And that's a beautiful thing, man, because that's what they are, right? These were remarkably good, so-called, good people, right? Because they did what the Lord wanted them to do, man. The Lord's going to crown. He's going to say, basically, well done, thy faithful servant, man. Okay, Well, not is that not? But the Lord's going to be telling the people, you know, right? You did what you were supposed to do. Okay. I actually want to get this here's scripture first, real quick, and I'm gonna come back to that one. This is it's like in Romans 8:17. It says, well, I'm starting at 16. It says the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And it says, and if children, if we are children of the Most High, right? It says then heirs, and it says heirs of God and joint heirs with Hamashiach. So the same way Yahweh Bashim Al Shai Hamashiach basically will receive the kingdom of heaven, complete dominion over the whole entire earth, and everybody will be subject to Yahweh Shai, man. The elect is going to receive the same things. They're going to receive spiritual power. They're going to receive immortality, man. Okay, they're going to be likened unto the Lord, man, at his return, man. These decrepit bodies that we're in now, that, basically die off, perish, right? We're going to receive new bodies just like the Lord, man, just like him, right? And through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shai, dominion, okay, with him, ruling on the planet Earth, man, over these heathen, ultimately, right? And it says, if so be that we suffer with him, that we be also glorified together, right? So we're going to be glorified with the Lord at the end of the day, right? The Lord is going to receive his glory. The elect is also going to receive glory too as well. I'm going to jump down to verse 29. It says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son. So the Lord already predestinated the elect to receive the kingdom of heaven from the foundations of the earth. And since he already knew them while they were on earth, he changed them to be what? Okay, to be likened unto his son, right? That's what it means to be conformed to the image of his son, right? Now we're going to go, I actually want to get that word conformed real quick. Conformed, this is jointly formed, that is, right? This is a G4832, and it says morphos, okay? And it says conform to, fashion like unto. So, right, the same mindset, the same mannerisms, right? The way the Lord would be on the earth, that's how the elect is, right? Starting with the elders and apostles at Great Millstone on down, to us younger men, okay, within this truth, right? And let's see here. There was something else I wanted to get. I can't think. Okay, this word image. That's what I wanted to get. Okay, you see this? And this word image is icon. Okay, Strong's G1504. It says a likeness, statue, profile, or representation. So the elect are walking representations of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, man. Resemblance. Okay, they have a resemblance about themselves that's uncanny, right? Same as the Lord, right? Okay, so the Lord was special when he walked the earth. They're also special as they walk the earth too. you know Let's go ahead and get this here real quick. We're gonna wrap it up soon. It says, this Colossians 3 and verse 12, it says, put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. Okay. And yeah, man, you gotta be as the elect, man. Okay. You gotta do the things the elect do. Okay. I'm gonna read the same verse real quick in the GNT. It says, you are the people of God. He loved you and chose you for his own. Okay. Now, within the nation of Israel, we have elect. The elect is the nation of Israel, but within the nation of Israel, which is the elect, there's another election. Okay, because what happened was, Yahweh by Shemal Shai, in ancient Egypt, he saved everybody that was of the nation of Israel. Everybody came out. Okay, but this time in modern day Egypt, spiritual Egypt, which is Babylon the Great, aka America, the Lord is not going to save everybody of the nation of Israel. He's only going to save 1/3 of the nation of Israel according to prophecy. Okay, so those people, right, are special, extremely special. All right, and it's going to be manifested soon whom are the Lord's chosen according to scriptures, man, right? These people will be a part of the first class, man. They're going to have spiritual power, right? Protection from on high, right? The Lord is going to do so many works and so many miracles. It's going to be completely unreal, man. All right. Let's go back to this here. Get this word first class. To get the definition real quick. This is the definition of first class out of online etymology dictionary. It says a set of people or things grouped together as the best, man. So these people are coming out, walking out as basically what? As the best, man. All right. They completed the job task at hand. The Lord ordered them to do a job, and they completed it. That's the point, man. That's what they did for Yahweh Shema Shai. Let's get this real quick. I think it's 24. All right, I'll start a little bit up, right? And you can see the header reads the coming of the Son of Man. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the earth, the heavens shall be shaken. Right? This is talking about the return, okay, of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? And we know what the Lord is going to do to America, man. Right? We know He's going to launch nuclear missiles, okay. Over here the nations are going to fire everything, right? I remember watching the very first Star Trek movie, and the guy, was losing the battle. He just said, fire everything, with, all kinds of passion behind it. And they just launched everything they could, right? But, the Lord's gonna, have these other nations, launch everything on its whore, right? Babylon the Great, aka America, and completely decimated, right? And it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds, right, of heaven, right, the chariots, it says, with power and great glory. And He shall send His angels with a great sound of a trumpet, which, that's going to happen too as well. And it says, and they shall gather together His elect, okay, His elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other, right? So the elect will be the ones that are gathered, right? The election, right? Okay. The elect of Yahweh Shema Shai, which are the Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, man, woman, or child, okay? Whomever the elect are, they're going to be gathered from the four winds of the earth, okay? The four corners, right? And I remember when I cannot see this, right? Because we use the word four corners, right? The earth is basically a sphere, right? Like, like an unto a circle. But if you do, you put the circle, right, inside of a box, you cover all angles, and I think they use that kind of analogy, when you're shooting pool or something like that. You can you can hit the center of the ball. You can hit top left, top right, downward left or downward right, and the ball would just do different things, right? But the point is, overall, the elect is coming from all over, man. Every nation underneath heaven will have the elect in it, man. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this here. Then we'll close out. Okay. The beautiful parts of being a part of the elect. Okay, this is 2 Esdras 2:24. It says, abide still, O my people, and take thy rest, for thy quietness still come. Right? The quietness is coming, okay? It says, nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. And it says, as for the servants, so there's a picture again, the people who served the Lord and did it all the way until, what the scripture said, until death, right? Now, of course, there will be some, scripture say there will be some standing here that will not taste the death. Okay, so some people will actually see the coming of Yahweh Shema Shai, And it says, as for the servants whom I have given, it says, there shall not one of them perish. It says, for I will require them from among thy number. It said, all right, it says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So when all hell break loose, man, the Lord is going to have protection over the elect, man. And that's why we do these video epistles and put out the warning, right, to you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian man, woman, and child, and to you Gentiles, okay, you Israelite foreigners, right, that come looking like the other nations, but spirits go back to the nation of Israel, man. We come putting out these video epistles as warnings, okay, to warn you of the pending danger, all right. And it says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness coming, it says, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. It says, the heathen shall envy thee, the heathen, right, the other nations, right, because they're not getting the kingdom of heaven, okay. The kingdom of heaven was not designed for them, right. The scriptures tell you that the earth was itself and the people within the earth was made for the Israelites, literally, okay, in the most literal sense, okay. They're basically here to be servants unto the Israelites, all right. And it says,